Namaste, Namaskar. This is David Hawthorne at astroview.com. Today is the 25th of August, 2024. The following is the Vedic astrology reading for Kamala Devi Harris, based on the 20th day of October, 1964, at 9:28 p.m. in Oakland, California, which was considered Pacific Daylight Saving Time. Now, this birth data comes supposedly from a birth certificate, birth record. We refer to Rodden Ratings. Lois Rodden founded this organization. And there was a collector, Stuckey. So we still have to make sure that this is legitimate. So I did research and found this birth certificate, State of California, County of Alameda, Kamala Iyer Harris. I think it says amended here or something, because her actual middle name is Davy. Anyways, female, so it's October 20th, 1964, 9:28 p, so that's p.m. She was born in Oakland, in Alameda. This is her mother, born in India, and her father, Donald Harris, from Jamaica. So this is fine down here because this was October 20th. So this was recorded October 23rd and then filed November 5th. My only concern is down here is that this was issued on August 14th, 2020. But I'm assuming what happened is that somebody paid for a copy of the birth certificate. So this is just a copy of the original. So let's hope that this is correct. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Kamala's background, so we won't take much time on this. But she is an American politician. She's an attorney. She's currently the 49th Vice President of the United States under President Joe Biden. She's the first female vice president, making her the highest-ranking female official in U.S. history. Also the first African-American and first Asian-American vice president. By the way, you know, some religions, some traditions say that a person is from her mother. Mother takes precedence. So I would reverse that. I would say she's the first Asian American vice president and also the first African American vice president. She's, of course, Democratic Party, but she also served as a U.S. Senator from California from 2017 to 2021, and earlier was the Attorney General of the largest state in the country, California, in terms of population. And now she's the Democratic nominee for the 2024 U.S. presidential election. She did graduate from Howard University and then later the University of California College of Law in San Francisco. She actually began her law career in the office of the district attorney. And then she was recruited to the San Francisco district attorney's office and later the city attorney of San Francisco's office. In 2003, she was elected the district attorney of San Francisco and later was elected Attorney General of California in 2010 and re-elected in 2014. So they liked her service. She became a junior senator in California from 2017 to 2021. And then she was the first She was the second black woman and the first South Asian American to serve in the U.S. Senate. Her mother was a biologist. She moved from India to Tamil Nadu when she was 19 years old as a graduate student, as a graduate student in 1958. And she worked on this receptor gene, which helped some advances in breast cancer research. Her mother died in 2009 at the age of 70 from colon cancer. Her father was a Stanford University professor of economics. That's pretty good credentials, folks. I'm from California. I can promise you that's very prestigious. So he's emeritus. He came to U.S. from Jamaica in 1961. Now, when she was 7 years old, her parents got divorced. So we can actually take a look at that. I'll just make a note here. Sorry. And then a few years later, she and her younger sister moved with their mother to Montreal, where she went to college in Montreal before attending Howard University, historically black university in Washington, D.C. That's another interesting point about Jupiter in her 12th house. So she graduated in 1986, a degree in political science and economics, and then the University of California, Hastings College. She was the president of his chapter of black law students. So, that, someone said that she's just discovered that she was black recently. That's ridiculous. She got her Juris Doctorate in 1989. And look at all these. These are all the committees she served on when she was in Senate. Look at this. Committee on the Budget, Committee on Homeland Security, Government Affairs, Federal Spending Oversight, Emergency Management, Regulatory Affairs, Federal Management, Select Committee on Intelligence, Committee on Judiciary, Subcommittee on the Constitution, Subcommittee on Oversight, Federal Rights, Federal Courts, Privacy, Technology, Law. So, absolutely, Congressional Caucus for Women's Issues. So she was sworn in as vice president in January 2021, and then she announced this Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. When she was an attorney, she dated the Speaker of California Assembly, Willie Brown, for a short period of time, and also had a brief relationship with a talk show host, Montel Williams. So she met her husband in 2013. Another important date. I'll mention it in a minute why this was important here. So her husband was born in a Jewish family. Another important point is that he was born in New York, and I'll show you why that's important in a minute. So they were married 2014. So they just celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary during the Democratic National Convention. And she's a stepmother to his two children, Cole and Ella. He was previously married to a film producer. Their estimated net worth was around $6 million in 2019. She's a Baptist in terms of her religion, holding a membership of the Third Baptist Church of San Francisco. She's also a member of the Links, an invitation-only social and service organization of prominent black American women. Her younger sister is also a lawyer and a political analyst. Her brother-in-law was an attorney as well, general counsel, worked for the United States Department of Justice. Her niece is a founder of Phenomenal Women Action Committee, former head of strategy and leadership at Uber. So Harris has written 2 nonfiction books and 1 children's book. Smart on Crime, subtitled "A Career Prosecutor's Plan to Make Us Safer," and "The Truths We Hold: An American Journey." And the children's book was Superheroes Are Everywhere. Okay, so just a little brief background. Of course, you can find all this stuff on Wikipedia. But I do think that her life and career path has been very rich. So let's explore some things about her chart. Now, in this first video, I'm simply going to describe the position of the Navgraha, the 9 planets, irrespective of some other issues. And I'm also going to overlay a scientific paradigm for reading horoscopes called the Systems Approach to Vedic Astrology. I'll focus more on that on the second video. And we will also do a discussion on the timing of events in her life. Primarily, I'm doing this reading because I've had tremendous requests from people for more information on her Vedic astrology chart, but also for my own purposes as well. Now, we do read these horoscopes from the ascendant or rising sign. This is much more specific to the individual than the sun, which sits in one sign for 30 days, or the moon that sits in one sign for 2.5 days. So this ascendant changes about every 2 hours of the day. And the ascendant represents a person's name, fame, health, appearance, personality, reputation, even longevity of life. So if we looked east on the horizon, we see that the 3rd sign of the zodiac was ascending or rising at 1 degree 3 minutes of Gemini. This is called Matun Lagna, Gemini rising. This is an air sign. There are only 3 air signs: Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We say that air sign persons know how to use their brains. They're quite intelligent people. But only Gemini is ruled by Mercury, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So we do say that Geminis are well suited to Mercury significations such as writing, language, literature, communications, computers, technology, intellectual property. I do recommend that to my Gemini rising sign clients that they are or become aware that Gemini is symbolized as the twins. Twins, male, female, 2-in-1 wholeness. So I tell my Gemini clients it's very important for them to be aware at any given time, especially in a family, work, or social situation, which twin is present at any given time. Because I promise you, one of these twins will be very social, gregarious, witty, eager to please, kind, patient, considerate, generous, jovial. The other twin, not so much. So I recommend to Geminis not to worry on that. I'm not asking them to change themselves. I'm asking them to witness themselves. And if they notice that some stress, some tension is coming into the situation, then they should immediately excuse themselves. Just go get a glass of water. Go for a walk, fresh air, meditation, music, whatever. They're fine. If they stay in a situation, it can escalate and it can get pretty intense. So very simple word to the wise for Gemini. There are quite a few successful Gemini persons, such as the founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates. So Geminis can be quite successful. I'm pretty sure that Einstein was also Gemini. Now we notice that Kamala is not just plain Gemini, because this is Rahu, R-A-H-U, the northern node of the moon in the first house. One other comment on Gemini. I've noticed that many Geminis are so independent that they marry later in life. I think Bill Gates was in his 40s when he married. And Kamala was 49 when she married. So we say this: Rahu is a very potent influence. It's the northern node of the moon, always directly opposite to the exact degree of Ketu, the southern node of the moon. Now, just like everything in life, there's yin and yang. There's two sides to every coin. So, on this video, I'm going to discuss more about the position of these planets. So Rahu, we would say that the positive side of Rahu would be ambition. Rahu can make one very ambitious, persuasive. It can give magnetic personality, charisma. So I think she's always had a fair amount of ambition. Rahu's also connected with, in my opinion, foreign elements. So foreign cultures, foreign religions, foreign lands. In the second house, we have the fourth sign Cancer, or Kark. This is Mongolian Kark, Mars at 27 degrees in the fourth sign Cancer. This is a water sign and a movable sign. Second house is wealth, its status, its speech. We know that Mars is a very courageous, direct planet. It makes her very direct and courageous with her speech. This also gives status through executive organizing skills. Mars is connected with military, police, construction, mathematics, engineering, sports, competition, national security. So she's very direct with her speech. Third house, fifth sign, Leo or Simha. Shukra in Simha, Venus in Leo. Third house is mental development, self-expression, communications, independent projects, entrepreneurial ventures, and younger siblings. Venus, of course, is feminine. She has a younger sister. Venus is in Leo, ruled by the sun, in the house of education. Her younger sister is highly educated. She's an attorney. This suggests that, because it's the house of independent projects, that Kamala can work with women on independent projects. This includes the fine arts, the performing arts, and the healing arts. So she's a big proponent of women's health in the healing arts. I think one of her committees or something was connected with women's issues. In the fourth house, we have the sixth sign Virgo or Kanya. By the way, this fourth house is childhood and parents. And this fourth house is ruled by Mercury. This is Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So where is Mercury gone? Connected with their parents? In the fifth house of higher education. Both of her parents were professors, graduates with degrees. So Mercury ruling parents in childhood, in the house of higher education, with the royal sun. So this can give graduate degrees to all family members. So in the 5th house, we have the 7th sign Libra, or Tula. Surya and Bud in Tula, Sun at 4 degrees, Mercury at 8 degrees. 5th house is the house of mind. So she has a royal mind. She thinks big. The Sun, king of the planetary cabinet. Sun, by the way, is the most important planet for Gemini, much more important than Mercury ruling Gemini. I won't get into all the technical details on this video, but I assure you, if you are Gemini, Sun is your most important planet. It rules your health, it rules leadership, it rules your self-initiatives. So we have the royal sun in the house of mind and education. This can give her graduate work, graduate degrees. And if this is the house of education, she can study sun significations. So sun is large organizations, medical organizations, government organizations, and spiritual organizations. And Mercury in the 5th house gives her a very keen mind. These are both in an air sign. Air signs are intelligent persons, intelligent people. So this gives her a royal mind. Sun is a royal planet, Mercury is the mind. Mercury's communications. So she can communicate on sun significations such as the government situations. And these are in Libra, ruled by Shukra, by Venus. And who is Venus? Venus is Lady Justice. She's connected with law as well as medicine. In the 6th house, the 8th sign Scorpio, or Vrishik. Let me go back for a moment. Surya, sun, is known as Atma Karaka. It represents the soul. So she has the soul of Libra, Lady Justice, women, fine arts, performing arts, healing arts, connected with higher education, connected with Venus in the house of independent entrepreneurial activities, communications, mental development, and Venus is ruled by Sun. So Venus is in the house ruled by the Sun, Sun's in the house ruled by the Venus. They've exchanged houses. That's considered favorable. In the 7th house, we have the 9th sign Sagittarius, or Danu. Notice that the 7th house is directly opposite the 1st house. So this is a person. This is others, opposite. So she has always been attracted to Ketu significations. The positive side of that, Ketu is moksha, karaka. It represents spirituality and enlightenment. So she's been attracted throughout her life to people who are on a spiritual path. And this will give her a lot of spiritual progress in her own life through being on a spiritual path. So it could be religion or meditation or anything like that. In the 8th house, the 10th sign Capricorn, Makar. 9th house, 11th sign Aquarius, or Kumbh. Now in the 9th house, we have the 11th sign Aquarius, or Kumbh. This is Shani and Kumbh, Saturn in Aquarius. Now this 9th house is called the house of Dharma. And Dharma is connected with duty, religion, morality, responsibility, and righteousness. It's also connected with Guru and father and religion. Saturn is retrograde and Jupiter is retrograde. Retrograde planets at the time of birth have no adverse effects unless they are a functional malefic planet afflicting some other house or sign or planet. Saturn loves being in Aquarius. This is Saturn's Mul-Trikone sign of Aquarius, very high dignity. So we can say that Kamala's Dharma is connected with being of service to humanity. Saturn is a planet of humility, patience, perseverance, service. It can give long-lived accomplishments. Saturn is leading the masses, helping the elderly, helping the poor and the needy, helping working class persons. It's in her Dharma. 10th house, 12th sign, Pisces, or Mina. 11th house, first sign, Aries, or Mish. Chandra in Mish, Moon in Aries. 11th house is income and friendships. Moon is a royal planet and is connected with the public. So she will always gain money from working with the public. She also has public favor on account of Moon being directly opposite the Sun to the exact degree. They're both at 4 degrees. She is born during a pure full moon. This is the heart and this is the soul. Fullness of heart, fullness of soul. She can work with hotels, restaurants, import-export, teaching, entertainment, social work, psychology, hospitals, hospices, clinics, and spas. She will gain from mother and mother figures. She will have royal income. And Moon is in Aries. Moon is our emotional state. Aries is a fire sign. It's Pitta. It's heat. It's a movable sign. She's not afraid to go places and do things. She loves to start projects. And Moon is in Aries, ruled by Mars. Mars is in Cancer, ruled by the Moon. So these two have also exchanged houses. Also very favorable yoga as well. But her emotional state is connected with courage. Mars is considered Kshatriya, warrior. And her heart has the fullness of the soul. Perfect full moon. My experience is people born on or near a full moon get public recognition. People always say when there's a full moon outside, look, is that a full moon? Even if it's not full, they think it might be. Now, if moon is with sun, that's a new moon. And nobody says, look, there's no moon out tonight. So nobody says that. But they always say, look, is that a full moon? I do caution people born under a full moon to be a little bit careful because moon, the emotional state, here it's in a fire sign, movable, want to go, want to do things. It's ruled by Mars, also in a movable sign. So it causes, gives her the heart of a Kshatriya, of a warrior. But Sun, the soul, is over here in Libra, an air sign. It's intellectual, connected with the fine arts, the performing arts, the healing arts. So sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect between heart and soul. They want to do two different things. In the 12th house, we have the second sign, Taurus, or Vrishab, Guru and Vrishab. So Jupiter's in the 12th house. So this can connect her education, children, and husband with the 12th house. So 12th house is known as moksha stan. So it's a house of spirituality. But it's also connected with institutional life, such as educational institutions, prisons, hospitals, ashrams, retreats, and it's also connected with foreign lands. So let's take education for a second. So she had education away from her birthplace, both in Canada and Washington, D.C. Anything more than 500 miles from where you're born is pretty much considered a foreign land. It's a different kind of culture. So she got some education in Jupiter's law connected with away from her birthplace. Her husband was born in New York, not in California, so she married somebody who was born 3,000 miles away, foreign land. Jupiter rules the 7th house of marriage and partnerships and joint ventures, so it is connected with the 12th house of institutions. So institutional life is not only educational institution in prisons and hospitals, but it's also government institutions. Now this first video simply describes the position of the Navgraha, the 9 planets. Now let's go to the second video and more deeply into this knowledge.